I'll grab him. And everyone was like, oh, look at him, he's shaking people's hand. I was like, I mean, I am, but I'm also clinging on to dear fucking life here. So I'm like trying to pull myself up, and I'm pulling myself up, and I look back at Kenny, I give him the thumbs up, and I go like, yeah, we're doing it.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast Course, AEW Dynasty, this Sunday in Philadelphia. Tickets still available, Ticketmaster.com. You can't make it, you can watch it live on pay-per-view. You can watch it live on Prime Video. And today we're taking our show to new heights with none other than the aerial assassin himself, the high-flying sensation. Eli, do you want to sing the song?
Not my voice. I don't.
Okay. Yeah, it's Will Ospreay.
Boys. Yes, lads.
Will, man, how are you heading into this weekend's pay-per-view, man?
Oh, stiff, mate. Proper stiff. I feel like my hips are all locked up, but I'm ready to rock and roll in Philadelphia, brother.
Man, it is going to be a hell of a show, and let's just go ahead and dive right into it. You're facing Kevin Knight, the newest acquisition to AEW in the Owen Hart Foundation's Men Tournament. How are you preparing for this matchup, and what challenges do you anticipate from him?
I mean, listen, I've been a fan of Kevin for ages. He was over in New Japan with us for a long time, even though we never really touched in the ring. I always admired from a distance, but like when I teamed up with him a little while ago, just to see the hops that he's got, I mean, I must say he might even have a better aerial offense than I do. So I'm gonna have to try and bring the old guns out. Like I might have to go back to the junior heavyweight roots if I can, but I'll try my best in that regard. But like, man, I'm super excited. Kevin has so much potential to be like one of the greatest stars in AEW. He's a great signing. I'm like super pumped for him, super happy for him that he's with us. So like I'm looking forward to like this crazy match. But like I've got a mission, man. I've got a mission statement to go to All In and main event that boy. So I'm looking forward to this. But Kevin Knight is going to be in for a rough one, mate.
Nice. With the Owen Cup tournament kicking off not too long, or excuse me, with Dynasty, what does participating in this tournament mean to you personally and professionally? I mean, was Owen like a big influence for you personally?
I mean, he was a huge influence in wrestling, full stop. I mean, I remember when I won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, right? It's one of the top things I always wanted to do in my career. It had so much lineage and so much history behind it. And one of the coolest things about that belt is when I put it on my lap and you could see all the guys that held that championship beforehand. And right there, it's Owen Hart's name on the belt. And I was just like, man, this is one of the craziest things that I've got. The same belt that like one of the greatest wrestlers to have ever done its name is on this championship. I'd love to continue that history as well by like attaching myself to that Owen Hart legacy as well by winning this tournament. So this is a huge honor to be a part of this, and I hope I can show off the best of my abilities and just to give that championship more and more credibility by holding it.
I had goosebumps for a little bit there. That was a good answer.
Definitely good answer. Now, I want to talk about this because recently you had a steel cage match against I could say, former friend Kyle Fletcher, right? At AEW Revolution. Intense, critically acclaimed. I would say I would beat Meltzer's, star rating and would give it a 20 star. I don't know if that's ever doable, but we are going to give that to it. How has that bout impacted your mindset going into Dynasty? And all humbleness aside, where do you rank it on the list of greatest cage matches of all time?
Mate, I generally was thinking about this a little while ago. Like, I can't think of another cage match off the top of my head that, like, done the stunts, done the storytelling, done the drama as well as that. Like, I mean, people tried to top it the next day and they couldn't. So, like, I just could not believe the output and the support that we got afterwards, and just how people just thought it was one of the greatest steel cage matches ever. I was super out of my depth with that one. I won't lie to you guys at all. Like it was crazy to be a part of that, and I felt like a proper pro wrestler out there. Like I know it's the crypto.com arena now, but that's a Staples Center, man. I felt like a pro wrestler out there. So it's part of, and like even me, I feel like Kyle Fletcher has like elevated himself to new heights. It's definitely someone the world could in years to come, but it was a crazy match to be a part of, and people enjoyed it. And like, what star rate you want to give it 20? Go for it, but very wrong.
I was showing the missus the entrance last night, and when your theme song hit and you're on top of the cages and you're just doing this, and then Kyle's doing this. I mean, the pictures that came out of that, it reminded me of like some All Japan stuff from like the 80s and stuff. I mean, it was just poetic. I was just like, holy shit. So, I mean, just art on another level. Yeah. Okay. So now that you've gotten your lay of the land with AEW, you're kind of a vet in AEW now at this point. Are there specific competitors you have not faced yet that you've seen their work and like, okay, I got to get in the ring with there? Are there any people now you know that you want to tangle with in AEW?
So there was one that I generally, because so one of the ties I have with pro wrestling is that AJ Styles is a huge influence in my wrestling. I've loved his work ever since I remember watching him. And there's someone in AEW that I've never actually crossed paths with, but like has such a tie to him. And I was thinking about it for so long. I was like, you know what? I'd love to wrestle him. Samoa Joe. I've never wrestled Samoa Joe. It's been one of those things. Yeah, bruv. Like I've never wrestled him, never crossed paths with him, and I feel like that's someone that has such a tie to him and knows AJ so well. I think they're like best buds, and just to be able to be like, you know what, like I want to feel that. I want to be tested. I want to be like pushed to my limits. So that's something that I would love to do.
Oof. That's that. I just got chill bumps again. I don't know how that match hasn't happened.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, it seems like Samoa Joe has a target on his back because we recently had Brian Keith on, and we asked him kind of the same question. He's like, Samoa Joe, that's who I want. So, I mean,
Yeah,
let's.
Brian.
I mean, I think what we need to happen is we get Will versus Samoa. Then we get Brian Keith versus Samoa. And then we have a triple threat of Brian, Will, and Samoa Joe.
That's some crazy ass booking, but I'm up for it.
Now, we haven't figured out what the stipulations of the match is going to be. We're just going to figure out that we're eventually going to get to a triple threat. Maybe it's maybe we go back to London. Maybe it's the main event. Maybe it's for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and Will Ospreay becomes victorious at the end of it. That's what we're going to put out there in the universe?
Booking me strong there, boys. I appreciate it.
We're big fans of you on the show, and it's glad to have you on here. So, let's talk about this because a lot of people have still talked about this match to this day. Your match against Bryan Danielson at last year's Dynasty, highly acclaimed. How do you reflect on that experience as you prepare for this year's event?
Mate, that Bryan Danielson match, I will never be able to put into words what I was feeling in that. I remember looking him in the eyes before the bell rung, and everyone was like doing the holy shit chants. I was like, oh man, this is incredible. And I remember looking at him and just going, sir, this is going to be a pleasure. And we like backed up, and then the bell rung, and I was just like, let's go! Like it was mad. Like that was like my first month, I think, in AEW. So now I've got the rhythm down. And I understand what I need to do, and I understand the landscape, and the foot is constantly on the gas pedal here. So for me now, this is about I've done the route, I've done the laps, I've done the reps now, and I feel like this is the route that I want to take to becoming AEW World Champion.
Yeah. Awesome answer. So Ricochet has really gotten some acclaim recently for his new work there. Just from an artistic standpoint, what have you thought about this new version of him?
So the one thing I said this for ages now, right? A lot of people always said Ricochet's main attribute and biggest strength in wrestling was his aerial athleticism, and it really is the greatest. But his main thing that I always said is like the way that he's able to make other people look good was crazy, right? So now being this character and being this like despisable nerd, like that just everyone wants to see get his ass kicked, that's always been his greatest skill. So like now it's like every time he gets his ass handed to him, it means something so much more now. And I feel like I saw it a little bit when we worked on the indies together because he was allowed to be like a little bit of a dickhead. But
Yeah.
like when he was in the other company, he just was just there, go out, do some tricks, go out, do some tricks, go out, do some tricks. He was never allowed to
Yeah.
show anything other than just that. So now he's been able to showcase that a little bit more. I think that's the coolest bit about AEW, that he left the other place and came here with the attitude of, I want to come here and I want to change and I want to adapt. And because he's done that, I feel like he's upped his value, he's upped his stock in the short time that he's been here already. Like I can only imagine when we're here at like year 3 or year 5 with him, and like he's like, now you can actually see this guy as a world champion.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And that's going to be some fun stuff to see. I mean, we're predicting your future. Obviously, now you're predicting Ricochet's future. So we're all just predicting futures on here. One thing that has been fun to watch is I scroll through social media and, every other video I'll see something, but a video keeps popping up in my feed from a fan's point of view. Recently at I want to say it was the Knoxville show where you did the flip off the balcony. And I was sitting there and I watched it in person. I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And then I scrolled through social media and there's somebody filming from their phone as you're climbing up and you're like waving to them. And then you're like, all right, gotta go. And then you do the flip. Like, what's going through your mind during that spot? Like, obviously, hey, don't fall, but
yeah, mate, you telling me you like flipping out. So as I got up there, I then noticed, I was like, oh, like I didn't really map it out in my head, like of just being like, oh, like, because I've done like a moonsault off of like balconies before, but the one that sticks in my mind is when I was doing Progress Wrestling and I backflipped off the electric ballroom balcony. And when I was up there this time, so like I got up there and my hand slips because Kyle has like so much body oil all over him. So like I was like, I slipped and some guy was like, yeah. So like I thought like, oh, I'll grab him. And everyone was like, oh, look at him, he's shaking people's hand. I was like, I mean, I am, but I'm also clinging on to dear fucking life here. So I'm like trying to pull myself up and I'm pulling myself up and I look back at Kenny, I give him the thumbs up and I go like, yeah, we're doing it. I haven't got my foot in. So I was like, looking, I was like, oh crap, I haven't got my foot in. As I put one foot up, there's a girl right in front of me and I'm using her as like a balance beam. And I'm like there, and we're locking eyes, so we're like here with one another, right? And I'm looking at this girl in the eye, I'm like, are we gonna kiss? Like, so I'm there, and it could be an incredible like love story of like How I Met Your Mother, right? And then all of a sudden I just go, see ya, and I just leave this person for the rest of my life. So there's someone out there who I like locked eyes with, and I was just kind of like, I'm about to like jump to my death here, love. So, but like, thank you very much for helping me.
Yeah, shared a moment there. Wow, moment
it's
in
gonna
time.
be like the next Hallmark Christmas movie. It's like a wrestling love story. That's what it's gonna be.
Right.
I know you got a busy time because you got to get prepared for this week, and I know we don't have much time left. And at the end of the show, we always like to have a little fun and kind of break away from the wrestling talks. And we've got a music question and a video game question because obviously we could tell big video game guy just by looking at your jacket. But the music question that we have, if we were to look at Will Ospreay's music playlist and we were to scroll through, what is the one song on there that people would be surprised and say, Will Ospreay listens to that?
Morgan Weller. I listen to country music quite a lot now. Like, I'll be honest, there's a song in there, I think it's called Chasing You. And I put it on, like, I put it on when me and the missus are like cooking some meals and stuff like that. But I regularly find myself just holding her in my arms and having a little slow dance with her quite a lot. So I'm a big country music guy now. Like, so there's that. But I'll be honest with you, my music that I really love is like disco music. I flipping love disco music. Purple Disco Machine just puts me in a good mood all the time.
Solid plays right there. And then Morgan Wallen's got a new album coming out. I think the last I heard it was like either 32 or 37 songs on this new album that's coming out. So
that's a lot.
We know
that's might be too much.
Yeah, it is. So as far as we know, you're a huge, massive Assassin's Creed guy. What would you say are the 3 most underrated titles in the Assassin's Creed library? And it can be under any format that you want.
Underrated titles?
Games, whatever you want to classify.
I mean, like, I liked Syndicate. I know a lot of people are a little bit like meh about it, but I like Syndicate just because it was close to home. And like in school, we learned about like Jack the Ripper and that era of, so like to see they like twisted history to like fit Jack the Ripper in as like he used to be an assassin. Like I love that. I like underrated. I'd say Brotherhood was like a second one that I really loved, and Revelations was the other one. Yeah, I like Brotherhood and Revelations because they were the ones that like really perked my interest in Assassin's Creed.
Boom.
Solid choices right there. Well, Will, we don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got some other things to do before you get ready for the big match on Sunday. So before we let you go, anything you want to say to people watching or listening to this right now?
Yeah, man, look, there's 1,000 tickets left for this Sunday. We're at the Liacouras Center. We are 1,000 tickets away. It's proper rammed in there, though, so we're like 90% sold. It's AEWTIX.com. So if there's anyone that is around the Philadelphia area and just what fancies going to the best pro wrestling on the planet, I definitely say it's worth your time. It's worth your money. So I would love for you guys to come down, support the company, because a lot of people don't want to see AEW succeed. I do. I love the fact that there is an alternative in pro wrestling right now. I love the fact that like I get to do this dream job. I love that I get to meet so many passionate wrestling fans that just want to show out to good wrestling shows and support us.